Alrighty, y'all. Hello, and welcome back to, I believe it's part 3, when stereotypical Americans travel to Europe. It has actually been like 3 months since I did one of these. I can't even believe it. Time is flying. Let's waste no more time in this intro. Let's get into it.
American living in Germany, and somehow when I go out, people always know that I'm from the US or that I speak English. What about my outfit or how I look right now screams American? Please tell me. Because I feel like I'm blending in. It's super hot here today. I just walked. This is all my groceries. I brought my own bag. I bought a soda, sunglasses. I do wear my AirPods. Is that weird? Maybe it's AirPods.
Yeah, you guys got to help explain this because sometimes I can see it. Like I can see like the obvious tourist giveaways, obvious American giveaways, right? This, like sometimes though, like with this, what gives away she's American here, right? If it's hot out, right? She's wearing, you would think, appropriate clothing, right? There's got to be Germans that wear this type of outfit. She has her own bag.
I feel like I'm blending in. It's super hot here today.
Now, obviously, if she talks, she sounds American, so I guess that would be easy, but...
I do wear my AirPods. Is that weird? Maybe it's AirPods. How do people know? This happens to me all the time. And I can speak German, so I don't know why they immediately start talking to me in English. It's so crazy.
She even speaks German, so how would they know she's American?
Also, I live in a small town in Germany. It's not like I'm in Berlin or Munich where everybody speaks English. This is a small-ish city. Let me know your thoughts.
Now, maybe she has a accent when she speaks German because, you know, I don't, you know, assuming she's not like a native speaker. Interesting, right? I mean, what is it? Like, people usually reference like facial structure, like, I guess just the way Americans typically like smile more or like, I don't know, present themselves, carry themselves, which is just so subtle, you'd think, right? But I find this kind of thing interesting because it can be subtle differences, but like it's weird how just the average person can be like more consistently German, right? And the average person from American can be consistently American. You know what I mean? Like everyone's an individual, but like they still usually possess traits from, you know, where they're from. And I just think that's fascinating that you could pick her out as American. I'm an American. She's American. I can't really, nothing about her screams American to me. So it's just kind of weird. Now, people do mention in the comments a couple giveaways, and this one is interesting. It's called the American Lean. Look it up. Like, she's just standing though. Like, what is she leaning on, right? Maybe it's even like just the way she stands, even if she's not leaning on something. It's so interesting. Like, what? You are happy we don't do that here. Now, that is a German answer. That's accurate. Carrying drinks and water bottles in the hand at all times. That one, I guess, is a giveaway. Even if it's a local drink. See, she didn't do the whole big water bottle thing, which, like, I guess would be a big giveaway. But even if it's a local soda or something, like, you're carrying a drink. And again, these are funny. Like, they're not necessarily always true. I'm sure there's people that carry drinks in Germany or any country, but that are local, but these things do add up, I suppose. Now, this person does say the face, which is what I alluded to earlier. Face. As a person born in Europe, I see the differences between people from Slavic/Germanic/Scandinavian countries, etc., just due to their facial features. In America, it is a melting pot, so it's difficult to recognize the other way around. Wow. Yeah, see, I'm not on that level, I don't think. But I love like recognizing that kind of stuff. But I think it's fascinating that people can actually point that out. Now, this one points to what I was talking about. This one's more obvious, right? Stereotypical Americans here, the giant water bottle, and they're scarfing it down. Now, I don't doubt that people drink water in European countries, right? Especially when it's hot out. I would hope y'all do, right? It's kind of important to stay hydrated. Maybe it's like, again, the way they carry it, the way they're kind of sharing it, and just scarfing it down, right? I'm sure that's a little bit different than the average, you know, European, which of course is a blanket statement in itself, but still, the way they're chugging this, I guess I can't really comprehend like a Norwegian person doing that or, you know, a Portuguese person doing that. Maybe not in the same way. What's one thing you see that instantly tells you someone in Europe is American? Okay, so what is it? Their outfits? Are all these people Americans right here, or what are we implying here? Is it the guy studying, like, what's he looking at? The product? That doesn't seem that weird, right? Maybe these two are American, maybe because their outfits. I mean, that kind of looks a little American-ish, right? The really sort of comfy clothes and the, I don't know, the shoes. I don't know. Again, I'm not as good at this, right? Because like people from other countries would, of course, spot Americans better than I guess an American would. Like some of them I could see that are obvious. Some of them are just like whatever. Because I guess I would see this fashion sense every day. Can someone tell me how Europeans can tell we're American before we even start talking to them? All right. Well, this one I can see. If the girl on the right here, if she walks around with that face, that smile, that kind of, right, that will give it away. See, I'm getting better at recognizing that. That is definitely an American thing. Smiling a lot, even when it's, doing it just walking. It's like telling a joke or something, right? That one's a giveaway. I will admit that. That's very American. Even she kind of has a light smile, a more subdued smile, but it's there. Again, the fashion, I'm not really sure what's giving it away other than she is holding a water bottle as well. But again, don't like some people hold water bottles in European countries? Come on now. Like to some extent, right? Or maybe they have them stowed away more or something. Jeans. Again, don't people wear jeans in other countries? Or is that strictly an American thing? Now, of course, the comments do point out the smile. Usually we hear you before we see you. That one's accurate. I don't know. Again, I used to think, like, are we really that much louder? But for some reason, I feel like we are. I just don't know why. Jeans, backpacks, water bottles, smiling, randomly large belt, running trainers when you're not running. Oh, did I not catch that? Oh, yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, people wear just like athletic shoes or tennis shoes pretty much all the time here. Not everyone, but a lot of people do. And I guess people in European countries don't do that unless they're actually, using the shoes for what they're intended for. Now, this one kind of sums it up. And this is what I mean. This is what I find so interesting, that some people can't really put it in words, but they know it. Right? And that's what I just find fascinating. I swear you dress the same as many of us, but it just looks different. Right? It just looks different. Why? That's so weird. The American mind cannot comprehend the silence on public transport during rush hour. Of course, she put music over it. But you could hear it's just the sound of the train. There's literally no sound. No one is making a peep. No one's humming. No one's talking, no one's shouting. That's pretty mind-blowing, I have to say. You are very seldom going to find silence like this in the U.S. in a public space ever, unless maybe you're at the library, right? And even then, some people are still making a little bit of noise, right? I mean, you're not going to find that on any transportation scenario, I feel like, here. I have to say, though, traveling on a train like this, and it's kind of that just nice, peaceful environment, that actually looks like a good vibe. I'm kind of envious of that. That's kind of cool. Now we have another train goer here. SOS, when you don't understand the German train system and end up sitting on the floor for your 4-hour train journey from Munich to Berlin. Holy smokes, she sat on the floor. Why? Now, I get not understanding certain, like, how things go, right? Between maybe not understanding the language and signs, and then, of course, not understanding how certain things operate, like fully, like a local would. But how did she end up on the floor? Right? What am I missing here? Like, how does this happen? Jeez. The comments Just find a seat with no name on it if you didn't reserve a seat. Okay, so I assume like maybe for some trains there would be assigned seating. It's like you get a ticket and it tells you where to sit. But there's got to be open seats somewhere, right? How did she end up on the floor? Is that real? Or is she kind of like screwing herself, like she could have had a seat and she just didn't know what to do that bad and she ended up on the floor for 4 hours? That sucks. When the party is in Germany, you want to fit in. Yeah, that's going to be your only chance. Although I'm sure they're not going to be able to fit in. Something will give it away. But that initial like walking around all happy and woohoo, yeah, that's not going to fly. You're going to look very American right away if you walk in like that. Be cool so no one can tell we're Americans? Oh my God. Knocking over the chair. What is happening? That guy's handing her the wooden plank that just broke. Oh my God. So like, I don't know why, right? Like, everyone makes mistakes, but somehow I will admit this is very like an American thing. I feel like this would happen to me, honestly. Someone sits down, they knock over the, like, we're not used to small chairs like that. Let's get real. When someone in the group, if you have a group of Americans, yeah, someone's going to knock it over. They're not going to sit correctly. And then it's broken and everyone's laughing and trying to be quiet, but it doesn't work. I mean, this is funny. I mean, this isn't like a bad thing. Like, I'm not blaming them at all. You know, stuff happens. I think this would be hilarious. Like, this is definitely a story they'll tell and laugh about for years. But it also is very telling that they were American. They were trying to be low key, but it just didn't work that day. Yeah, this was definitely the best part, though. Not the man handing you the missing plank. That is just like the cherry on top.
No, it's not. It's a great teacher. Oh my God! But he does not look 35. He looks like he's the same age as her. Like they look like siblings. What? Well, it's crazy. Secret. They're not telling us where. I mean, good for her. She's happy. No haters. No, it's not.
Why are we like this? I used to try to stick up for Americans. Like, we're not that loud, really. Like, other people talk, but we are. I don't know why. We're just loud. It's so funny. Like, it's something we don't notice, especially over here, because, like, I guess everyone's loud. Like, not everyone, but most people. It's especially when a group of Americans go overseas and then it's really exposed, right? And it's just like, I wonder why that is. Right? Like, that's not even make fun of it or hate on it. I just wonder why. Like, why are we louder? Like, they're right. You can kind of hear them. Those people are probably multiple seats away, and you can totally hear their whole conversation, and they're just talking and talking and talking, and there's basically no pauses. And I will admit, that can be a thing here too. Like, people are social, and I don't think that's a bad thing, but sometimes, like, even me as someone who is social and enjoys conversations, I will admit as an American, like over here, you get talking with people and it doesn't matter if they're one of your best friends or like a stranger. Like, sometimes it can feel a little bit anxious. Like, it can feel like you have a conversation and it just can't have any like dead air or like dull spots. Like, you have to keep going and think of stuff. I don't know why that is. It's this weird thing where like pauses and silence is like not allowed or something, like some unspoken rule. It's very weird. And I can imagine for people that aren't from here, when they come to the US, it's probably very intimidating and polarizing to be in that scenario. Cause it's even awkward for me as an American who likes to talk. There's just this weird thing where you're talking and no one wants to end the conversation. It's weird. Like, they want to end it, but they don't want to seem rude or something. I don't know. It's weird. And yeah, I guess we are louder than a lot of other cultures. So it is what it is. Fighting an American urge to ask for a cup of ice water in Europe. I mean, when that is how we are, that's how we're programmed. When it's really hot out and you're sweating and you have to fan yourself, yeah, you're getting ice water for sure. I mean, that is like the best thing ever.
I'm an American in Europe. Of course I'm going to use Google Translate because I only speak English.
Yeah,
I'm an American in
unfortunately.
Europe. Of course I'm going to eat at all the American restaurants.
I mean, again, it's hard to like. I think more Americans should strive to learn more languages, myself included. But at the same time, I mean, dude, do you have to know a language fluently to visit a place? I don't. I think that's a unrealistic expectation as well. So it's like it's a middle ground.
Where's McDonald's?
Där.
Where?
Dick
Yeah,
Amerikan.
don't do that.
I'm
Don't be that
in Europe.
American.
Of course I'm going to be loud and obnoxious everywhere I go.
Oh
Yeah.
my God! Look at that cool church.
This one again, it's true, but when I hear it, I kind of cringe. I'm like, why are we like that, right?
I'm an American
You can be
in Europe.
excited
Of
about
course
stuff. Just don't shout it out, right?
I'm going to wear workout clothes and I'm sightseeing. I'm an American in Europe. Of course I'm going to have an attitude when you don't speak English.
Now that
Wait,
one's
you don't
bad.
speak English? Of course
Yeah, I
speak
would never
English.
have an attitude with someone like that's dumb.
I'm an American in Europe. Of course I'm going to complain there's no air conditioning anywhere I go. It's so hot in here.
That's true.
I'm an American in Europe. Of course I don't know Celsius. I only know Fahrenheit.
I do. I've been practicing.
I'm an American in Europe. Of course I'm going to stand out and look like an American tourist.
Yeah, well, what gave it away? The athleisure wear, the definitely the Starbucks drink, because I don't picture many locals in any major city. I think this one, according to the description, was filmed in Belgium. Yeah, I don't picture like tons and tons of Belgians having Starbucks in their hands. And then, of course, the camera too, as well. But yeah, just some giveaways there. How to spot Americans abroad? Let's see. Is it the walk? Maybe. Is it the clothes? So it looks like it's a colder season because we have jackets on. Although we have a guy in jackets and shorts. Now, I don't personally do this, but I know, I see tons of people do this where I live. So, even when it starts getting pretty cold out, they'll wear hats, like winter hats and then jackets, but they'll wear shorts. It's kind of weird. That's definitely a thing. That is, I feel like, very an American trait. And I don't get it either, by the way, because like I said, I don't do it. I know plenty of people that do. Maybe also the shoes, perhaps. And again, with the water bottle, just in hand, ready to go, right? I'm beginning to learn, I think. Yeah, that definitely seems American. Maybe the backpack as well. And see the comments, right? Like people are saying, y'all don't drink water over there. Fellas, is it American to drink water? No, I mean, these are, I get where they're coming from with the comments. Like these are Americans saying to Europeans, like, what, y'all don't have water? No, I think Europeans do have water. I just think they consume it differently, right? I think they consume it when they're at the cafe and when they're eating or maybe on their way out from their house or whatever. I just don't think a lot of them carry it around all day and, constantly sip on it while they're walking. Americans in Europe on 4th of July? Yeah, I mean, no one, why would anyone care? It's just the 4th of July and anywhere else. Just another day, right?
American and you've been traveling through Europe, have you ever felt judged? We definitely did when we saw all of these stickers plastered all over Florence. And at one point during dinner, we had somebody cruise by on their bicycle and yell. And I know that there's the American stereotype where we're loud and obnoxious, and the list could go on and on. It sucks because I think we're generally friendly and we actually are really interested in the culture, which is why we go and visit. I get that over-tourism is a problem. My wife and I are from San Diego, and inevitably, every summer, it's super crowded. There's no parking. It's kind of a headache. But that's kind of just how it is when you live in an awesome place. It just really sucks that there's an anti-American sentiment in Europe because we love you guys and we're probably descendants of your country. I get that our cultures clash sometimes, and when we smile, it may seem fake, but it's not. And with that said, if you ever find yourself in San Diego, hit me up and I will take you to get a burrito and take you to all the fun spots, no matter where you're from. Mm-hmm. If you're an American...
I mean, these are easy. These are kind of generalizations that are easy to kind of get carried away with. Now, there might be, I think this applies to a lot of people in a lot of different places, right? There might be a slight anti-American sentiment in certain places. Again, I think, you can look at signs or stickers like that and maybe get carried away with it. I think generally people are usually pretty good and pretty relaxed about stuff. So I think a lot of, people in various countries would be okay with Americans as long as they were nice and being good to the area, right? I don't think people generally will just hate someone for no reason and treat them like crap, even if they're good people or not bothering them, unless that person, you know, that is hating for no reason, you know, there's clearly something wrong with them. Most people are pretty chill and pretty good, I think. So I think a blanket statement, do Europeans hate Americans? I would say probably not. They might hate mean Americans, or they might hate, you know, celebrities or politicians. That's one thing. But beyond that, no, reasonable people don't, I feel like. I think that's fair to say, right?
Bro, Spain is so insane. I had no clue that y'all had buildings like this, bro.
Yeah, that thing is pretty epic.
First of all, I didn't even
from
know
our
that there
perspective,
were
it doesn't even
colors
make sense
on that shit. And also the detail, bro.
You didn't know there were colors on it?
On that shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of intricacies on it.
And also the detail, bro. Tell me this. First of all, how old is that thing? And
Old.
Second of all, how long did it take for them to build that shit? And how come they were able
This
to
guy's
build
hella
shit like
American.
that way back in the day with way less tech, and probably like, I mean, who knows how long it took, but
I mean, I'll give them that. I don't know how a lot of old structures were built. To me, it doesn't make sense at all when there was like so much less technology, supposedly. I think it's crazy. But it is amazing to see stuff like that. I'm sure in person, it's just mind-blowing, the sheer size of it. And like I said, the detail. Again, people that see this every day, they're just used to it. So like to us Americans, it is crazy to see that. Even on video, especially in person, I know I'd be mind blown. Like you would know I'm American then because I'd just be looking at that in sheer awe, right? But
apartment building in Miami at the same speed that they put this shit up. Something ain't right, bro. We got way better tech nowadays, and we're doing shit.
It takes us too long to build
bigger
simple
and
stuff
better
now
but how
in
come they're able
the
to make some
U.S.
shit like this with crazy ass detail like this out of rocks and hammers, and we can't put up an apartment building with steel and fucking cranes and shit. I know there's a crane right there, but they're doing refurbishing.
No, actually, aren't they still working on this? Like literally still? Like it is old, but I think the I've always been told like from you guys that they're still building this like currently.
Absolutely insane, bro. Harry Potter. Bro, Spain.
There you go.
I'm an American girl who moved to Spain 7 months ago, and here's some stereotypes that I didn't know people around the world have about us. This is all meant to be funny. This is all just generalizations. Number one, we are so loud. I didn't take this one seriously at first because I was like, there's plenty of loud Australians and Brits. There's something about an American accent that just travels more than any other accent. Again, I didn't take this one too seriously until I really noticed it, and I can hear our accent from like a mile away. Number two, we have an American lean.
Good point.
We cannot stay still in a line. How to spot an American in any single file, we're literally leaning like this, or if there's a pole, we're leaning against it.
Because remember, we've seen this American lean even just earlier, and I've seen it in other videos. I never understood what it was.
Leaning like this, or if there's a pole, we're leaning against it.
Yeah.
Americans just always lean, and I didn't notice that.
You know what? It is true. I do it all the time. What is that about? Right? Why does our voice and our accents like carry further? For one, I think that is probably true. And also, why do we like, do other people just stand straight up? I guess so, right?
Americans.
But she's right. We kind of like lean, or we slouch, or we lean on a pole, or we lean on a building, or we lean on a car. Like we do. Why do we do that? It's one of those things you don't realize until you see it, and you're like, wait, I do that too. But you don't know that you do it, right?
Lean, and I didn't notice that. This one's a little mean, but people think we're dumb, fat, and lazy. There's definitely a few factors as to why people think that about us. As soon as I tell someone I'm an American, I'm like immediately trying to prove that I'm smart. I don't know why overcompensate like that. This one's just funny, but the first thing that people ask me is like, what do you think about the president? That is the start of every conversation. Obviously, I completely understand American politics affects a lot of the world, but I just think it's so funny because I don't think there's anyone from any country that I would just immediately be like, so you're prime minister, what do you think? As an American?
She's right. Like, that is weird from our perspective. That someone from another country across the world would ask what we think of our politics. But I would never ask, like, someone from Portugal or Serbia or Finland, you know, like, hey, what do you think of your president or your whatever, right? Like, that's not even on my mind, right? When I meet someone from another country, that is that's very interesting.
first question you'll be asked.
Very
Last
odd,
one is
actually.
that we are very fast paced. For the most part, I feel like Americans are kind of known for like being very fast paced and like walking fast and like getting to their destination.
Yeah.
Spaniards walk at a snail's.
Yes. It's the rat race here, the U.S. It's kind of sad, actually. Yeah, we have to be in a hurry. We are always in a hurry, stressed out as hell.
Pace, and Americans are like
it's true. You have to be in a hurry in the U.S., man.
They're just chill. Definitely learning a lot from living abroad.
Yeah, we need to be way more chill in the U.S. It's because of our work culture is bad, man. You got to hurry up because you got so much to do in a day and you just don't have time to do it. It's crazy, man. I'm actually going to cut it there. I can't believe it's been 3 months since I did one of these. That's insane. Time is flying. Summer is flying by. I can't even believe it. But yeah, that is some American, stereotypes and stereotypical Americans making themselves known overseas. I know the comments are going to be good on this one. They always are. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. I appreciate you watching, and hopefully I'll see you maybe in the next one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.